This is our team. Egypt's top court wants to allow members of the country's armed forces to vote. Many have praised the decision, but the ruling Muslim Brotherhood and others oppose it, saying it threatens national security. And as RT's Tom Barton explains, these are signs that Egypt is still facing many of the same problems it had under the rule of our President Hosni Mubarak.
Members of Egypt's army and police haven't voted since 1976, a move designed to stop them interfering in politics. But now judges have said that rule and 12 other pieces of electoral law are in breach of the country's new constitution, much contested but passed last December. Human rights groups and some of the largely secular opposition have welcomed the decision, as they say all citizens should have the right to vote. But some Islamists and former soldiers are opposed, saying politics should be kept out of the army and raising fears of politicians abusing a huge voting reservoir. This all comes as Egypt tries to adjust after decades under Mubarak's control. His regime was infamous for torture. Since his departure, human rights reform of the security services has been limited. Now, President Mohamed Morsi's Muslim Brotherhood faces widespread accusations of moving into positions vacated by Mubarak's old cronies. Largely because of political unrest, Egypt's economy is now doing worse than it did under Mubarak, and Mubarak's foreign policy imperatives seem to remain important to the current government, to the dismay of some Islamists.
Egypt had also been the scene of constant anti-government rallies with violent protests over the rule of President Morsi and the Muslim Brotherhood organization. The latest event took place on Friday with calls for early presidential elections. Wael Eskandar, who's written for many Egyptian news outlets, thinks the country faces severe economic and social problems because the ruling elite is only concerned with maintaining power.
The great danger right now is that no reforms are done. The greatest danger for Egypt is the collapse of the economy and the people revolting and the government not being able to sustain their rule. The society needs to be based on justice in whatever form it takes, where the resources are given to those who need it rather than the elite. We have a horrible social security net. If you don't want political unrest, you have to feed people, you have to give them shelter, you have to solve their problems. This has not been the case for the Muslim Brotherhood. They are just solidifying their rule and they're not sharing power with anyone. If they focus more about solving the problems collectively in Egypt, together with all the parties involved, they would have a bigger chance. But at the moment, they're just trying to monopolize power. So what we need to do really is just focus on the real problems and get everyone together to work on them, whether they're economic or political.